morning, it's Randytbird out here in Arizona. Going for a ride on a Sunday morning. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning. It's in the 50s. It's a pretty nice day. Not supposed to be much wind. It's supposed to hit 73 today again. It's like that yesterday. Yesterday, kind of a frustrating day. I worked half a day. I had some issues to deal with, personal issues to deal with. Kept me tied up most of the day, but I did manage to get, with the help of my lovely wife, my new shocks. Yes, I got new shocks on the Sportster. I found some on OfferUp, Progressive 412s. Looked like whoever had them before never even used them, never even installed them. None of the hardware packages were even open or anything. So, you know, got a good price on them and put them on there, and getting ready to go do a test drive and or test ride, I should say. And the bike battery was dead. So it's weird because it just started up the other night, and it has a brand new battery in it. So I'm thinking it may have an issue with the charging system. Not a big deal because there was still a little warranty left on the bike, and I do have I bought a couple extra year powertrain and well, full wheel-to-wheel warranty for it. So that's going to go in probably this afternoon. I added on the tender all night, and it fired up this morning, which again makes me think that something's up with the charging system on it, you know. But well, they'll get it sorted out, I'm sure. And so I did go out and go for a short ride on it to check out the shocks, and went over the bridge there that across the freeway by close to where I live that always jolts the heck out of you, and it just soaked it up. So I'm real happy with the results of the shocks. They are 13 inches, so they're an inch and a half longer than the stock shocks, which wouldn't even make a good door closer, in my opinion. At any rate, those shocks worked really well. They give the bike a nice stance. It didn't affect my kickstand at all. It maybe leans over maybe a degree or two more, but it's nothing radical, nothing that's going to cause a problem. So anyway, we'll get this charging sorted out, and then I'll be able to do another whole ride video on it. But anyway, for the short ride that I did, I purposely hit the bumps at speed, and it really picked them up good. So I'm really happy here in the early going with them, and it did pick the speed up a little bit, but I can still get my feet on the ground no problem, and it just feels good. So that, and out here on the street bob, that's an awesome thing about having multiple motorcycles, is that one isn't working, the other one usually is. So the usually is here is the street bob. So I'm just out cruising around today. Again, on Sundays I don't always, or very rarely, have a destination. I just go to where my ride takes me, and when I get tired of going that way, I stop and go the other way. So, you know, that's the beauty of riding. You don't have to have a destination. You could just go. By now, I imagine everybody's seen the new Lowrider S and the Lowrider ST. I have to admit it looks better. The fairing looks better than I thought it would. You know, in pictures anyway. I haven't seen, well, let me say, very few people have seen the actual bike, but and the dealers don't have them yet. I guess it's April when they're going to be in the showrooms. So, but it looks interesting. I like what they've done with the rear suspension. You can definitely tell that it has more travel because the fender to tire clearance is noticeably different. And that's what most people do with them anyway. They put a longer shock on them, or an Öhlins, or you know, Fox, or whatever brand that suits your Legends, whatever suits your needs at the time. And they always generally go for 13 and a half inch shock. I think any more than that makes them look kind of silly like a motocross bike. Not that motocross bikes are silly, it's just that street bikes were never meant to look like motocross bikes. So anyway, they're interesting. I like the way the gauge setup is. That's pretty cool. The tank, I don't know, tank badges, or not the tank divider or the tank trim or whatever it is that covered up the area where the instruments used to go, because it's now up on the handlebars. That looks really good. It's a real nice custom touch. And of course, the elephant in the room, that's the 117 motor, so 120 something foot-pounds of torque, and my guess is with the stage 1 you will probably get 100 horsepower, the minimum. I know the Milwaukee 8s have a lot of horsepower potential to them. And anyway, it looks interesting. I like the gunship gray. I always liked that when it came out on the CVOs, and it's awesome now that they have it in the regular lineup across different models. It's a really good looking color. And then the graphics hanker back to the old 77 lowriders when they first came out. I never had one of those. I had shovelhead FXEs, but I never had a lowrider. What I did have, so I had an 81 lowrider, but it had different graphics on it, and that was an interesting bike. I bought it cheap to flip, and I ended up riding it for like 3-4 years. And it was an 80-inch shovelhead. It had its issues with ignition systems and charging systems and oil leaks and all of that, but it was a fun bike to ride. I rode the snot out of it for several years, and then traded it in on an FXR of all things. Back when FXRs were not popular. They sure are now. You got to spend a lot of money for an FXR, a used one that's in dubious condition, or one that somebody's completely gone through and modernized. Even some have been converted to twin cam motors, which is pretty cool. That takes quite a bit of doing. I thought for a second that guy in that blue car was going to cut right over on me. He had that look to it, but he didn't. You always got to keep your head on a swivel. Gorgeous day, a few wispy clouds. It was overcast yesterday evening, but it all must have blown out overnight. It was a little breezy in the evening, but well, it's beautiful right now. Just loved the chance to be able to get away. It was been a really tough week at work, and tough week personally. Another friend of mine passed away this week. Jerry Davis, a longtime friend and brother. Godspeed, Jerry. Yeah, you're in a better place now. And he had a good long life. He was 76 or 7 years old. Still riding, even though he had lost a leg in an accident. He was riding a trike, and he just couldn't keep him down. The man had more lives than a cat, and finally his call came, and I think it was a fortunate thing that he went quickly and didn't have a long period of suffering or anything like that. So Godspeed. We're gonna miss you, brother. We're gonna miss your wit and your I mean, the guy rode like he was on fire. I mean, he was great. He used to be a drag racer, and anyway, enough about that. Part of life. Dying is part of living, I suppose. All right. Not too much traffic today. Gorgeous, big visibility. I was watching a video earlier this week. Tim Finning out in Australia has a 21 Street Bob, very much like mine, and was talking about having it for a while and riding, and it's funny, he's talking about the weather, and of course he's relating in Celsius. It's 42, 45, 40, And I'm thinking, okay, when you translate that to Fahrenheit that we have out here, basically Australia being on the other side of the world, it is now summer there where it's winter here. So we'll be changing places there, Tim, here in 3 or 4 months, and it'll be back up to the 110s or 40 to 45 as you relate to there in Celsius in your metric world. Hope you get your tuning issues sorted out. You had mentioned something about the handlebars seeming askew or misaligned or something. I don't see it on mine. I'm thinking maybe it's because of the southern hemisphere. What do you think? Maybe it just has that effect, but no, these seem fine. Nothing seems amiss. I know over the years I've noticed one thing, that sometimes if you get your mirrors misaligned, it has kind of an effect where it makes things look crooked. Excuse me. Just something I've noticed over the year. And a lot of times too, you have the handlebar bushings will get crushed down on one side, and your bars will be a little crooked, but no, these seem perfectly straight. So again, must be an Aussie thing. What do you think? I do really enjoy communicating with folks around the world, and we all have that one shared love, and that's for motorcycles and riding. And that's always cool to get people's viewpoints from around the world. And haven't heard from South Africa lately. I don't know if he's still able to ride my videos. I know they were in another lockdown scenario for a while when the Omicron thing started. It was first seen in South Africa, and that's where the guy lives, is a BMW rider, a Viper 918. I haven't heard from you in a while. It'd be nice to hear from you. See if you're doing okay. Off today without my battery pack again. I must be getting forgetful in my old age here. It's not that I don't have a million things on my mind. So I don't know if I'll get as much footage today as I had hoped. I'm just going to go until the battery runs dead, and then I'll record a ending video later on one of the other cameras, or with a new battery once I get home. I'm sure we'll all live through it. What do you think? Gorgeous, gorgeous day. It is a bit unusual to have mid-70s in January, even for here, but I'm not complaining at all. Of course, yesterday, the early part of the day, I worked for more than half a day, and that did kind of take some of the shine off the day, but had to be done. And being in the building on a Saturday, nobody there to bother you, so I can get 8 hours worth of work done in 3. So that was good. Gorgeous mountains today. Some nice Mustang. I always had a soft spot for Mustangs. And I mentioned before, I think the best sound in all of motoring is a 5.0 Mustang with a good exhaust system. Awesome sound. I also readjusted the camera angle on my camera mount. I added another link to the mount, so I think I'm getting a better angle than last week. I hope so. Seems the way I sit on the bike or whatever, I have a forward lean a little bit, and so it lowers the angle, so I have to tilt the camera back quite a bit. I've been thinking about experimenting with the handlebar camera. Well, again, another cough. I'm okay though, but I'm not sure how to wire in the sound without having a long cable dangling. We'll try to figure it out. Maybe I'll run something back that I can do a quick disconnect or something. I don't know. I have thought about it before, and I've loaned out my handlebar mount. So when I get that back, I'm going to try it again. See if I can get a dual perspective thing going here. Although, you know, I'm not real pretty myself, so yeah, with the helmet and face shield on, you can't really tell. I just look like everybody else. So Hollywood has not been calling me in recent years. So, and my hands got too scarred up to continue being a hand model. You know, life's difficult. I was kind of a little bit bummed out about the Sportster today. I really wanted to ride it today, and yeah, it'll get fixed. I got my garage all situated where I can get 2 quads and both my bikes in there. It's a bit of a puzzle, but I think I've got it figured out now, so I can actually do it, lock the door, and walk back through into the house. So that took some doing and some rearranging. I only have a single car garage, and it's got my bench and tools and storage and you name it in there. So that was a little tight. That's pretty much everything that's going on in the Randytbird world right now. You know, just living life, going to work. You know, boy goes to school. You know, get out whenever I can on the bike. You know, mostly during the week, all I do is work. So, oh yeah, I did still play music. The latest incarnation of the band, yeah, we made some changes again. We lost a couple members, so we started over yet again. And we got back a previous person from the band, and so we're relearning and shaking off the rust on some old stuff. So we're going to be playing a show in April. So that'll keep us, give us a real focus to do. So that's a night or so a week we work on that, and music is awesome, and keeps us keeps my mind clear when I'm playing music. Anyway, this is Randytbird out here in gorgeous, brutal winter Arizona. You know, I'd say there's not a cloud in the sky, but that would be a lie. But they are not of any consequence. They're just color for the sky. That's what I'll call it. Anyway, great to talk to everybody. Please subscribe if you haven't. Subscribing has been going on really well lately, and I thank all you. Welcome all you new subscribers. If you haven't, please do. Cost you nothing, and just one little punch of a button and you're on there. And if you so wish, you can hit the notification bell, and then you'll be notified when I do a video. And thank you all for watching, and we'll talk to you again.